பல முக்கிய பொறுப்புகளை கவனித்து வரும் மத்திய அமைச்சரும் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியின் மூத்த தலைவர்களின் ஒருவருமான திரு வெங்கையா நாயுடு புதிய தலைமுறைக்கு பிரத்யேக பேட்டி அளிப்பதற்காக நம்முடன் இருக்கிறார். அவருடன் தமிழக அரசியல் மற்றும் தேசிய அரசியல் குறித்து பேசலாம். நமஸ்தே சார்.
நமஸ்தே, வணக்கம்.
Tamil Nadu has been the focus of your attention recently. You were in Chennai to visit our former Chief Minister, late Jayalalitha ji, and you had written very beautifully about her. Now that she is being missed, what are the few points that you always remember about her?
Somehow I always had a special liking for Madam Jayalalitha ji because of her dynamism, because of her quick decision making, because of her articulation, because of her skills of administration, and personally because of the affection she used to show to me whenever I visit her. She knows the subject, she has a vision, and she wanted to develop the state of Tamil Nadu, and she always used to focus only on Tamil Nadu issues and the interest of Tamils. She used to take up with me from time to time. Whenever I used to meet her, she used to talk to me in chaste Telugu because she had some connection with Nellore. Her relatives were there in Nellore, Ranganayakilpet. And as a general secretary of the party who was in charge of Tamil Nadu, I used to interact her in the original alliance and we formed the government together. Subsequently, even in 2004, I was party president. Then also I used to interact with her. And she used to be very cordial and very affectionate, and she used to be up to the point, forthright. Sometimes she used to be very firm, but after persuasion, if there is a valid reason, then she used to oblige what I say. So somehow, as I told you, one is a lady who has come up on her own, fighting all the adversaries. You know how single-handedly she fought with her rivals within the party after late MGR expired. The way she was insulted, she was intimidated, but still she fought back and she became one of the most popular chief ministers of Tamil Nadu. That's why I always used to have a special liking for the late chief minister of Tamil Nadu. And she had some sort of liking for him because he's also a strong leader. And then the nationalism bondage is there between both. So I used to regularly visit her and discuss with her. I can tell you, when I went there once, particularly after that cyclone area, she came to Secretariat on a Sunday. People were surprised. Normally she did not come, but she came to Secretariat on a Sunday to meet me. And then mine was the last public function she participated. That is Metro Rail Foundation in her constituency. Radhakrishna Nagar,
R.K.
Nagar, Vimco, this Nagar and all. So she, in that speech, she took my name 9 times to my surprise and to the surprise of all. So that shows that she had some sort of affection for me. When I came to know of her illness, I used to make inquiries. I visited her also in the hospital. And we were all hoping that she will recover and she will become normal. Dr. Reddy told me, sir, initially the hopes were less. Subsequently, after the treatment, she is fighting back and then she will become normal and she may go home at her choice. This is what Reddy told me. But suddenly her health deteriorated because she had a heart attack and she collapsed.
You had even described her loss as the loss of a sister, that much close. The vacuum that she has left in Tamil Nadu politics, how do you see the emerging scenario in Tamil Nadu?
See, definitely there is a huge vacuum and it's not easy to get a leader of her stature and her standing immediately. Now we have to see what is going to happen. As far as we in the center are concerned, we want to have friendly, good relations with all the states, irrespective of the political color, and particularly with Tamil Nadu because it's one of the progressing states, and then particularly because of her leadership. Now she is no more. Now there is a new Chief Minister. Our support will continue. This is what Honorable Prime Minister, during his visit, when he came there to pay last respects to Madam, he told the Chief Minister in my presence that any time, any issue, we are there. This is the assurance he has given to the Chief Minister. Our support in the center is to the elected Chief Minister. He is elected. At the same time, we don't want to interfere in the internal affairs of ADMK. Who is going to be their party general secretary, who is going to be their leader and all, that is their choice. They have elected during Madam's, illness itself, Mr. Paneerselvam as the acting Chief Minister type of arrangement they have made. And as I was there on the last day, when the ADMK collectively and correctly took a decision to name him as the Chief Minister, retain all those ministers with the same portfolios, we have no problem that way. But as far as their party, their future and all, it all depends on the performance of the government, the Chief Minister and his Council of Ministers, and the conduct of its members, how the future is going to be. From our side, we will continue to extend all support. Today, the Honorable Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu is here, and he might have met the Prime Minister also. And the center will be extending all support. For example, the Chief Secretary telephoned to me some time back and said, sir, there is an issue with regard to Kachatiu. There was a church, St. Anthony Church, some ancient church, and they wanted to rebuild it, and there was some controversy. Subsequently, they built another small church and all. For that festival, Indian fishermen also want to go because they have a historical connection and affinity towards Kachatiu for years together. Correct. So, the Sri Lankan government initially said they will allow some selected this thing. But subsequently state made a request for 100 people. Then we talked to the External Affairs Ministry, and then at the end of it, because of our persuasion, Sri Lankan administration have agreed for 100. And they are saying to us that there will be a bigger congregation in sometime in March or so. But even this, so we continue to take interest in the issues of Tamil Nadu and the welfare of the people, and will extend all support.
In the absence of a tall leader like former Chief Minister Jayalalitha, there are talks that the central government may dominate the Tamil Nadu government. What is your view on this?
Question do not arise. See, we want to work together. Prime Minister told all of us, the ministers, that we must work as a team India. Because the aim is to make India strong and stable. Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. Working with all. So how is it possible? Without developing Tamil Nadu, can you say that India can develop? No. Without developing Telangana, or even Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, whatever it is. So our interest is in the interest of the people of Tamil Nadu also. So that way there is no question of any discrimination, had it been otherwise also. But here is a government which is by and large on issues supporting us. We have difference on GST. Madam told me that Naidu ji, we have a problem because we are a manufacturing state, we will be the losers. But at the end of the day, she told me, we will not come in the way of the passage of the bill. The bill got passed because half an hour before they have taken a decision to abstain from the House. And the bill was passed with a massive majority. Even on other issues also, state has been cooperating. We expect similar cooperation now. I can assure you there is no question of interfering in the internal affairs of ADMK or in the internal affairs of the ministry, or there is no question of enforcing our will on the state. But we will continue to have friendly relations and we seek the cooperation. I always tell them, our cooperation depends, my operation depends on your cooperation. So if the state cooperates with the center, it will be in the interest of the people of the state.
Right, sir. Sir, now the next question that follows is, AIADMK is also now facing a huge vacuum. They have to, the responsibilities have to be redistributed and they have to come up with a new structure for their leadership, etc. Tamil Nadu BJP, so many questions are being asked that they have to repeatedly explain that no, we are not interfering, etc. Like you mentioned. Why is that fear being...
I am asking that question to you. Why media speculating? Why they are asking? See, reply is given only after question is put. Having friendly relationship is different, having an alliance. I can share with you, before elections, in fact, there was a discussion whether we should have an alliance with the ADMK for the assembly elections. I talked to Madam. Madam said, I will get back to you next day. Next day she telephoned to me and told me, and later she sent Mr. Thambidurai also. we discussed, and they showed me that as I have been in government, there is some amount of anti-incumbency. I think it's better we fight elections separately. Our opponents will exploit this. And then anyhow, I'm going to extend issue-based support to central government. I like the Prime Minister. That's how she told me. I was happy. So now also there is no question. BJP has to grow. The idea of the BJP is, irrespective of whichever party is in power, we want to grow. Even in places where we have alliance, in Andhra Pradesh for information, Telugu and BJP together.
Right.
But still BJP is trying to grow. Because the area of Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Orissa, Paschim Bengal and northeastern states. These are the areas where the party has to gain strength. These are comparatively that much not strong for the BJP. Whereas in the east, Bihar, you got highest number of MPs. In Uttar Pradesh, you got highest number of MPs. West, you are strong in Rajasthan, strong in Gujarat, strong in Goa, strong in the Madhya Pradesh Central, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand and all. Now, just now, we have entered even Arunachal Pradesh. We have captured Assam also. So even in South also, the positive signals are coming. There is an abandoned love and affection for Narendra Modi. Try to understand, but for Madam, her own charisma, in the last election, BJP would have polled much more votes. I will tell you a secret. If the people feel that the BJP is winning, the percentage of BJP will go up very much. Even in the low, like BJP, they have not voted adequately for the BJP because they feel that locally BJP is not winning, better vote for ADMK, let ADMK win. That's the mood of the people. But irrespective of that, now today, we have, once upon a time people used to call this a North Indian party. It's no longer valid. Today, you are there in Kanyakumari, BJP. You are there in Kashmir, BJP. You are there in Andaman Island, BJP. You are there in Assam, BJP. Even in the recent by-elections to the Lok Sabha and Assembly, even in Tripura, the BJP pushed Congress to third position. Even in West Bengal, BJP pushed Communist to third position. West Bengal, which used to be citadel of the Communist Party. So the BJP is making steady progress. And in particular reference to Tamil Nadu also, fortunately because of the leadership of Modi, the BJP appeal is going stronger. And now I think there is a bright future for the BJP even in Tamil Nadu also.
You had mentioned that the AIADMK was part of the NDA during Vajpayee's time. Is there a possibility of AIADMK coming back to the NDMK and AIADMK ministers joining the Narendra Modi cabinet?
No, there is no such proposal, one, as on now. Second, it's too early to talk of anything. Once the elections come nearer, then one can discuss, party will think about it, we have to consider the state party, we have to take the political situation to consideration and then take a final view. As on now, there is no election in Tamil Nadu. So where is the question of any discussion on alliance or where is the question of ADMK joining the government? That proposal has not come from anywhere and we have not given any thought to that also.
One tall leader of Tamil Nadu is no more and another tall leader is ill. There is a lot of change happening in Tamil Nadu politics. In such a scenario, what is the possibility for BJP to capitalize from new challenges and also tap the new opportunities?
Definitely there is a lot of opportunities available for the BJP in the deep south. Either it is Tamil Nadu or even Kerala. For example, Kerala, the BJP's own voting percentage has gone to 14.75 or so. And Tamil Nadu also the vote share was increasing. It was unfortunate that some of the parties which have joined with the BJP in 2014 parliament elections, some of them, they left or they had other ideas. But they have seen the result also. And even in the recent elections also, if you look at the performance of the BJP, BJP single-handedly retained its base. As I'm telling you. I'm not making tall claims that BJP is that much strong enough to become an alternative and all. But there is an amount of groundswell of sympathy for BJP. There is a huge, following and appreciation for Narendra Bhai Modi. Keeping this in background, and also as you rightly said, Madam is not there, and DMK has got its own problems, and some of these other parties have lost some of their shine. Even the PMK is not that much strong as it used to be, and even the MDMK also is not, and then even DMDK also. I don't know why they fell out. We wanted to continue with all these parties. We never had an intention to, now that we have come to power, you are not required. That approach was not there at all. But they made their own calculations. Some of them, they fought elections separately, and the results are there before everybody to see. So when the next election comes, we will assess the situation and then take a view.
You had mentioned about Tamil Nadu Chief Minister's meeting with the Prime Minister. The Tamil Nadu government wants Bharat Ratna for former Chief Minister Jayalalitha. Also, they want a bronze statue of her to be established in Parliament House. What are your views on this?
See, I can't respond on these issues. That has to be decided at an appropriate level. And it's not fair for a minister, when the matter has been taken up before the Prime Minister, to make any comment on this.
There is this cyclone which had devastated Chennai and nearby areas. So they want relief for that, interim relief, and also in the long term a lot of support from the central government. How do you look at this?
Exactly what has transpired between the Honorable Prime Minister and the Chief Minister, I'm not aware. I'm yet to speak to Prime Minister. I always take interest in Tamil Nadu, for that matter in any of those states, nearby states, and then try to find out or try to convey. In fact, even before the Chief Minister came here, in the cabinet meeting, last cabinet meeting, I have taken up the issue of Tamil Nadu, the recent cyclone, and I have requested Home Minister and Finance Minister to take it into liberal view and send the central team at the earliest. Normally, central team do not come during the crisis because the administration will be preoccupied with the relief and rehabilitation activity. After that, we try to send a central team. There is a system for central assistance. There is a state-wise natural calamity relief fund. Certain amount is there already. How much they have as on now, how much is left. Secondly, there is a national disaster calamity relief fund. There are certain norms prescribed for that. And anyhow, the central team will visit the state, make an assessment, make a recommendation. After that, a high-level committee, high-level meeting chaired by the Home Minister, where Finance Minister also is there, will take place after we receive the report of this thing. Interim support, whether they have some money or not, I am not aware, frankly. But that will be looked into by the centre, but we will take a positive view about the request of Tamil Nadu government.
On the national scenario, sir, demonetization, there has been a lot of discussion, controversy around that. Opposition parties have been coming up with various type of charges. So now only a few days remain for the end of the month when the demonetization program will move to the next stage. How do you look at the feedback now?
Point is, I want to know what is the stand of all these parties. On one side they are saying they are supporting, on the other side they are criticizing. They don't know what exactly is their stand. If you look at Mr. Chidambaram welcomed it, Mr. Congress Party Surjewala first day, he welcomed it also. Even Mr. Kharge said we are not against demonetization or remonetization. Mr. Ghulam Nabi Azad said we are not against. But sometimes at the same time they say Prime Minister is a Hitler, Prime Minister is Mussolini, Prime Minister is Gaddafi, Prime Minister is this, that and all. And then one of the Congress leader, the youth vice president said it's foolish. How can you welcome a decision and still call it as foolish? Double standards. Secondly, this decision is taken keeping in view the need for fighting corruption and black money. Some people, ordinary people think that Prime Minister can go by a jet and then land there in Switzerland, open the bank and this thing and bring back the money. You know, the countries, every country has got its own law. He emphasized it on Man Ki Baat. On radio, he addressed the people. He told them, and I remember the words he has used, if you don't declare and you still have money, there may not be lights on Deepavali day. Such a strong statement. Then he said, I will not be responsible for the things that will happen after September 30th. So he has given enough caution. Still people have not responded adequately. Only you got some 65,000 crores or so, whatever it is. We expected all political parties to support this move and then give their suggestions. I have no problem in their criticism. There are problems. There is problem now. There will be some more problems also in the coming days. I am not ruling out. This is a big transformation. Any transformation will have some initial problems. Small time pain to have long-term gain.
Prime Minister has said very clearly that these steps are for the poor. Black money has to be abolished for the benefit of the poor. But the opposition is saying the poor, farmers, fishermen, these are the type laborers, these are the type of people who will be affected. And one entire parliament session they have
The
stalled.
parliament session was stalled. You see, from the day one, see, Modi ji became Prime Minister. They are not able to reconcile with the reality. Did they allow the first parliament to start 2014? How they heckled. They said, Kala Dhan, Wapas Rao, bring back the black money. That's the slogan they have given in the House. I was Parliament Affairs Minister. One. They did not allow the parliament also then. They tried to make all irresponsible allegations against Sushma Swaraj, against Vasundhara Raje, against Shivraj Singh Chauhan and all. And all of them proved to be damn squib afterwards. And they were using all abusive language against the Prime Minister. Khoon ki dalal, maut ka saudagar, merchant of death. This is the way they are not able to reconcile. And then they were really depressed. The way Prime Minister's popularity is going up across the globe. The entire world now, India is recognized and respected. He sometimes, even on the Twitter and other these things, social media, he was surpassing the American president. Now you have seen he is one among the 10 top powerful people in the world. And then he has negotiated successfully for the supply of uranium from Canada, from Australia. London, your UK Prime Minister comes to introduce him in a public function, in a not government function, private function. American president calls him as a rock star. And then the other raider calls him as a reforms in chief. So all these things making opposition jittery, one. Secondly, not allowing parliament. See, contrast. I said the Prime Minister also the other day. I have been there in parliament. There were instances where BJP also disturbed parliament for some time. I don't deny that. But not like this. The reason is, there always used to be something happening in the government. There used to be corruption. There used to be a scam. There used to be a scandal. Whether it is 2G, whether it is coal, or whether it is 3G, Commonwealth. And opposition used to raise the issue, agitate in the House and demand the government to accept for debate. They used to refuse. And then demand the government to accept for an inquiry. They used to refuse. And it's not only opposition. The Supreme Court has taken up judiciary. And then the media has highlighted it. Some of the scams came through media. And then CAG. Here, the reverse is happening. The government is taking steps against the corruption, and opposition is trying to support the corrupt fellows. Who are the affected? The fishermen are the poor people, are temporarily there is some suffering. I don't deny that at all. There is some inconvenience to middle class, to others also. But the long-term benefit is going to for these people, poor people. These fishermen, the taddy tapper, the weaver, the goldsmith, the blacksmith, the unorganized labor, the agriculture labor, the ordinary people, low wage earners, they are going to be benefited. And welfare and development activities are going to pick up further. Economy will get strengthened. India's name also, because you know, outside India is considered as one of the corrupt countries and all. That also will go away. It's a developing country. That name has come because of Modi, about corruption. So there are a lot of benefits that are coming. My point is, if even opposition, what they are saying is right, let us assume for a minute. What is the way? You should have allowed parliament to function, and you should have participated in the debate. And you should have said, yes, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Your decision may be right, but implementation is wrong. You have not done enough preparation. You have not printed enough notes. You have not given us information so that we could have taken some precaution. Some such thing. Good suggestions or whatever it is, criticism, your criticism, they would have taken left and right, nothing wrong. After all, the parliament is there to debate, discuss, decide, not disrupt. Even the Rashtrapati, President of India, has to advise them. The Speaker was very hurt. She has gone public also. Even Advaniji, being a senior parliamentarian, he has also expressed the anguish. It's all anguish of the people. Many of the newspapers wrote editorials also. And what reason? No reason, no rational. And in Rajya Sabha, I remember in Rajya Sabha, they have agreed for debate. They are demanded for debate. We said yes. Then they said PM has to be there. Yes. Then they said PM has to intervene. Yes. All these things have been agreed upon. PM came to House. They said he is coming on in the morning for question hour. He is not coming in the afternoon. He came in the afternoon. They did not allow the House to function. Suddenly Rajya Sabha one stand, Lok Sabha other stand. And in Lok Sabha for 20 days, is the remonetization the only issue in the country? There are issues. There are flood issue of the Chennai cyclone issue. There was a need for detailed discussion. Some mention was made. No discussion has taken place, I can tell you. Only mention was allowed. And there are problems of agriculture in certain areas. There are problems in Jammu Kashmir. There are ISI tactics that are happening and all. You need to discuss all these issues. There are some happenings in Assam. So all these issues, Parliament is a forum to discuss, highlight. I always tell, I propose from government, you oppose from opposition, let the House dispose. They have not allowed. They have committed a contempt of Parliament and contempt of democracy, one. Secondly, they thought they will be exposed. And now they are realizing they have misled. On the last days they come, no, permit me to speak and all.
Not being allowed to speak.
Who has prevented you from speaking for last 18 days? Where were you all these 18 days? Why was your party obstructing the Parliament functioning? You have committed a crime against the people. And now, just to show off, you want to discuss. Totally opposition has gone wrong. They gave a call for Bharat Bandh, which was a total flap. Then they gave a call for Jana Akrosh rally. It is not Akrosh, it is Ukrosh, to show their frustration. No response. Then they marched to Rashtrapati 3 times. No problem. Photo opportunity only. Is it the way a party which has ruled the country 50 years? It is not first time party. A party which has ruled the country for 50 years. And then all these people combined together. Congress, communist, communalist, communalist, casteist, corrupt. All 5 C's have combined together to oppose a chief prime minister who is fighting against the corruption and black money. Yes, we are facing challenges. There are problems. Some unfortunate deaths have happened. Count of this or that, that's whatever it is, death has happened. It's very unfortunate. We also feel sorry. And then there were some sufferings for some sections of the people for some time. But situation is improving. It will improve further. But you must see at the long-term gains the country is going to get. And I don't blame people initially. People are not ready because we are in a system.
In the short term, bitter pill, there are some difficulties in digesting a bitter pill. But at the same time, economy, after slowing down, may pick up. On the other hand, government can also use this opportunity and give a lot of concessions to people. So is there a possibility of people, after going through all the adjustment, now getting income tax benefits, etc., lower taxes?
A budget session is going to come. You will all see, generally, once the revenue increases, government is going to go for helping the poor. Prime Minister said, Gaam, Garib, Kisan, Mazdoor, Mahila, Yuva. That means village, farmer, poor, women and youth. They are my priorities. Secondly, Finance Minister also the other day said, once the tax net increases, rates has to come down. And there is a popular demand to increase the slab of the income tax. I don't want to make any comment, being a minister, corrective decision to be taken by the government. But all these aspirations of the people will be taken into mind, into consideration, and the government is ready to address. For example, I can tell you now, everybody has to declare how many people are working in your organization, and then you have to pay salary from next month onwards.
Banking transaction.
Banking transaction. And then the people are afraid. People from Coimbatore, they came, Chamber of Commerce people came and met me. They told me, sir, we have no problem, we are on with the Prime Minister, but the moment I say 20 people are working with my channel or my establishment or my this thing, then I have to pay it in cash. If I pay for 20 people or 25 people now, people will say, officers will come and ask me 5 years, give your account, how much you have been paying. So there will be harassment. Then I took up the matter of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister made a categorical statement in the parliamentary party meeting also. He said, November 9th is the date. From that date, all electronic transfer, check payment. Before that, retrospective, we are not going to attack it. Then there was a propaganda about gold. Gold,
will be seized.
Some of the channels went overboard and started going to gold shops and asked the woman, oh, what will happen to your Mangal Sutra? Then, do you have a receipt? Then what will happen to your gold? Modi is going to come and take this also. This sort of propaganda, cheap propaganda. Then government have clarified. There is already a law. Nothing has been amended as far as the gold is concerned. Only thing is Stri Dhana, that is the woman's property, that will not be touched. Secondly, your ancestral property, it will not be touched. Thirdly, according to present law, every woman, married woman, can have up to half kg gold.
500 gram.
500 gram. And then unmarried daughter can have up to 1/4 kg gold. Then husband, 100 grams. Sir, in a family, 100 grams of father, 250 for the girl, and if there is a boy, 100, 200, 250, 450 plus 500, almost 1 kilo. You show me one person in any, even among you, who is having more than 1 kilo gold in home. Even I don't have. But there are people who have been piling up gold for over the years. I do agree. Because in our agriculture families, we sell our produce and women purchase some gold and keep. Most of them, they have accounted it for earlier. So that is not going to be touched now. Only this is meant only for people on that day, on November 8th evening, they rush to gold shops. And in Hyderabad, I have an example. One shop did a business for 100 crores. Delhi, there is an example of one shop doing 200 crores business. All these things are coming out now.
Old notes.
Yeah, the old notes and then get gold. Old for gold. Gold for old. Like that. So those things, how can anybody criticize that move? So Provident Fund, I have clarified. Gold, I have clarified. After clarification, there is no this thing. Prime Minister said no woman will be touched on that. And thirdly, with regard to the petrol, the other day, if you go for a card, digital, you will get petrol at a cheaper rate. Many people are not aware. So some people telephone to me and send message, sir, some of the petrol pumps are saying they are yet to get instructions, etc. Yesterday, for information, in Vijayawada, I called Andhra and Telangana. All the officers, Mr. Dharmendra Pradhan was kind enough to send me, Bharat Petroleum, Hindustan Petroleum Corporation, Indian Oil Corporation, LPG distribute. All of them, they came, all officers, and they told me, sir, it took some time because you have to make changes in the system and all. Now, next day, you get the petrol, or diesel filled up through card, it will automatically go into your account. That's what is happening. That's one relief. And now, to encourage digital transfer, government have announced some schemes also, including some sort of lucky draw. That's
lottery.
That's one, just only a signal. And then now, state after state, some of the state governments are taking initiative to go for transfer of digital. Now they are saying, no, you have changed the goalpost. First he had the fight on black money, corruption. Now he is talking digital. Digital is part of this exercise. One decision alone cannot fight corruption and black money. Digital transfer is also part of this thing. This is not a new idea. People are saying, why he remembered now? Day one when he became Prime Minister, he has given a call to all people, open bank account, Jana Dhana Yojana. 25.73 crore people have opened their bank account. In record, one year, 3 months. He had that vision. Because the Prime Minister is very keen to see, ultimately, the money should not change hands, it must go to the designated person or beneficiary. Your scholarship, your pension, your compensation, your insurance, or anything, that should go, your subsidy, all things should go into our account. That's why he said, he gave a call, JAM, Jana Dhana Yojana J, A, Aadhaar connection, otherwise there will be some sort of cheating again. Then mobile. So future, he want to see that one need not even go to bank. How much salary you are getting, it's there on your mobile. How much you want to spend on vegetable, how much you want to spend on this thing and all, petrol. You can give order by mobile. Bank will take the order and then inform you also. Now you have a debit card, you have a credit card, now you have a pay time. Now there is a prepaid card now latest, like prepaid telephone, cell phone. You have a prepaid card now.
Money.
If you have a bank account, you can take 20,000 up to 20,000 prepaid card. You can pay it to anybody. These things. I'm not saying everything has changed. Things are changing. Change for better. And there is no physical transaction of money, scope for corruption will become minimum. Okay? Black money will become minimum. I won't say it will totally go away. And you cannot have a totally cashless society. Less cash society. That is the idea of the Prime Minister. You go to America, you go to shops, you will never find people opening up bundles of notes and giving to all. They will be using card. Very rarely they will take out. That's why in America, the highest denomination is only $100.
Correct.
Whereas we have 2,000, we earlier had 10,000 also during Janata Party government. They are trying to. Some people are saying, why these 2,000 notes? 2,000 notes is a transitory arrangement. Sir, changing currency from one currency to another currency will take time. So many people are of the impression it's like printing Janatanti newspaper or Inadu newspaper, just put it inside. But cinema mein dekha, they will show in cinema, na? Thousands of copies are printed, then it comes to market in the morning, express paper or Hindu paper like that. It's not. It takes time because there are a lot of security related aspects to dry, to go and all. It will take weeks, I am told, one note to go inside and come out. So that takes time. Then transportation. from Nasik, from Devas, from other places transporting.
Security.
The other day you might have seen in Tamil Nadu, in cyclone somewhere the trucks got stuck. So police has to guard them and escort them and all. So now Prime Minister has reviewed it and asked them to reduce the time to 6 days or 7 days. Helicopters are being used, aircrafts are being used wherever necessary. So everything possible is being finalized. There is an amount of secrecy involved in this. Otherwise, there are 92,000 bank branches, 2,20,000 ATMs, and 1,50,000 post offices, and 2 lakh and odd bank mitras. If you inform all of them beforehand, then there was no secrecy. Nothing would have left. Everything would have changed hands also. In spite of all this secrecy, still there are some people who are doing mischief. So the Prime Minister is taking action against them also. It is not that the Prime Minister has a what you call mantra from Delhi. I just say like that and everything will change like a Maya Bazaar cinema. ऐसा नहीं होता ना. This is a very revolutionary, bold step by the Prime Minister. Every revolution will have some side effects and then after effects. After effects will be positive and there will be pro-poor and people will be ultimately happy.
Thank you, Venkayyaji. Patiently, you have explained your comprehensive views to Pudhiya Thalamari. Thank you very much.
Nandri, vanakkam.